Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Bookish Artist Mandy, and I am coming at you today with a currently inked review from last week and to talk about my currently inked for this week. And I'm starting in my traveler's notebook that I finished up over last week. Well, I still have a couple pages that I'm gonna spend some time journaling or doing some swatching with, but just this week wouldn't fully fit in here, so I moved out. This last week, I tell you what, this set of pens was fantastic. Just fantastic. And I ended up just loving pretty much everything for the most part, and we're going to talk about it. So the first one was my Myers Penco MK Petite with in the colorway Cotton Candy Clouds. Now this one I have actually right here. Nope, not that one. This one I have right here, and it is actually cleaned out because I inked it up, and I will say this one was probably the least successful. I had a medium nib in it, and for some reason my medium nib was just giving me some troubles, which happens, and so I ended up switching it to a broad, and I just wasn't really enjoying this color in it. But I did use the whole converter full and ended up refilling this ink in one of my Benu Euphorias, my Bubblegum Ritz, or Bubblegum Riz. I always want to say Bubblegum Ritz, but it's Bubblegum Riz. And yeah, I don't remember where I put that pen. One second. Right here. Okay, so this one I feel like actually goes really well with this ink color as well. And my Schmidt nib is a fantastic option. So I am giving the ink a 10, like some people do, ink 10, flow a 10, you know, that kind of stuff. I think Karina does ink 10, flow, or like ink, flow, and pen and combo. I love this. I love this pen. So together they weren't great. I don't know why. It was just the nib. So it's not the pen itself. This pen I can write with forever, and I love this pen, and I'm going to ink it up with something else for next week. I just haven't picked what I want to ink it up with. However, I do love this Tono & Limbs Sakura Eternal, and I actually emptied the entire, like, I used up the entire sample. As you can, let me see if I can find it. Yep, used up the entire sample in a week because I loved it so much. I was also having some problems, so it didn't last very long, and I ended up ordering a bottle of this. I'm really excited. The bottle came just a couple days ago, and so I do have a lot of this. I really liked it. It is light, but I like it for headers. I like it for drawing with. I like it for writing. I used it. I actually used it in for 3 days. I used it for writing just a whole bunch of stuff. So I used it up really fast. It was the 13th that I took it out of the MK Petite and put it in here. So this one, I don't know, it's not going to be a permanent pairing, but right now this one won't show up in my currently inked because I'll just have it inked. It's kind of one of those, I have only a few now because I'm working really hard to make sure I'm only using the 8 to 9 pens I have inked for the week. But this one is one that I'm going to keep just because I love soft pinks. I love this theme. This theme makes me very happy. I definitely came back to it and used it, and I added stickers, you know, every once in a while, and it really made me feel great to have that. And then this one was my Hogtown Swansea in Valley Girl. So I don't know about this pen. I'm not sure how I'm feeling right now. It does have a broad Esterbrook nib. I really do like the Malibu blush. I did write a full 3 pages of morning pages with it, and I did use it 3 times throughout the week, which is quite a bit. But I don't know how I'm feeling about this pen itself. and if it's comfortable. I'm really bummed about it. I'm gonna keep trying it. I am gonna empty whatever's left in here for the week, cleaning it out, because I'm finding that cleaning my pens every week is working fantastic. I am finally feel like I've got this under control. I've got my pens under control. I'm finding out what I really like and using my pens and using them all because I'm doing this so often. I don't know how it's going to work when I start teaching, but we'll see. We shall see. But this is great. I actually really liked Malibu Blush, and I'm surprised because I've had it in my collection forever and just haven't inked it up in a pen, and I don't know why. I think because I inked it up in a pen that wasn't very wet and didn't flow, so it was really hard to read, but I'm not sure. So that's one that, yeah, I'm letting go for the week, which is great. So this will be cleaned out. I don't know how much ink I actually used because I did write with it. So I did actually, you know what? That's actually really great. It's almost empty. I didn't know because I haven't opened it. So yeah, I will say that is a successful win. And I would say, for ink, I'm going to say it's a 9 because sometimes it can be a little hard to read. The pen, I wasn't reaching for it because it wasn't that comfortable. I couldn't write a full 3 pages without it being not great comfortable. But I also want to caveat this. I was drawing on my iPad for a lot of time this last week, and my index finger, the way I was gripping my pen, my Apple Pencil, it was having problems. I have to get a grip for my Apple Pencil because the way I grip it and the pressure, I don't know what's going on. Because I got this is the iPad I have right now. I have a big one too, but I got the iPad mini, and I think this one's really great for on the go, but I don't think that it's one that if I'm home, I should be doing art on, just because it's so small and I really have to really, yeah, it's not too great. So I love my iPad, but for drawing, I had to go from an iPad Pro, the 12-inch, to this really small 6-inch is quite a dramatic change. So I think that's where this was, and the way that I was gripping this was very similar to my Apple Pencil. So I think I was just having problems with this. I did let it rest for a couple days. So yeah, I don't know. But that one is definitely going in my I'm cleaning you bin, and I'm really excited about that. Okay, so this one I actually wrote, and it's cleaned and put away. So I'm not going to pull it out, but this is my Walltown Onslow in Nether Purpur. I loved this. The Walltown Onslow, I kind of think that eventually down the line, I would like to get another Walltown Onslow. I really enjoy writing with that one. And so, yeah, that one I wrote dry. And then I'll go back up to my Walltown Watts Slim. I ended up only using this one day last week. And I don't know why I wasn't reaching for it. I think it's just because I was really loving these other 3. This was Schneider Lilac, and it was purple and beautiful. And I think I was reaching for more blues and purples than I was because I had this soft pink. So, it's really hard. This one was, number 4 was a 10. I still think I need to give this one another week. So I'm going to just write carrying over, and I'm not going to put it in my currently inked, but I'm carrying it over because this pen is comfortable and I love this pen. And let's look at how much ink is left. Yeah, quite a bit. So I'm going to keep this one inked up, and I will report back on this one. This one will be in an alternate area of things. So I'm keeping this one inked for sure. The next one was this bad boy right here. My TWSBI Diamond 580 in Iris, and it was full, and I used it. I actually used it. I didn't mark it, but I actually used it the 16th and the 17th. I just forgot to mark it. I was using it quite a bit. I was writing with it. I just love my TWSBIs. That's not a change. And yes, when I was doing my currently inked, I did want to mention I was having problems with things what's the word? Bleeding and feathering. You can see right here, it was really rough for these couple inks. It was super muggy that day, and it has since not been as muggy, and I haven't had any issues, even on this paper. Like, I'm going to say that I'm giving the pen a 10. See, you can see how different it is. And the ink, I like this ink. I don't know if I 10 out of 10 like it, because sometimes I will say that there is so much glitter that sometimes it's just too glittery. So I'm going to give it a 9. And the combo, and the flow, I'm going to say is an 8. Okay, thank you, Karina, for your awesome little thing. So I don't know if I really understand the rating system, but this was a great pen. I love this color, but surprisingly, I just think it has too much shimmer. So I think the next time I refill this, I'm not going to agitate the bottle, and I'm going to just put some more ink in and see if I like that. But they do sell this without, I think, I just found it on Venice, so maybe it wasn't discontinued and I was wrong, but the grape colored night, with just a standard, they sell that, and I think I might like that for that one. Yeah. Oh, the power of filming. So it's actually the next day because, well, in the middle of filming, I got a huge migraine. So we're going to keep going. So I just talked about my Twisby Diamond 580 in the iris. And the next one I'm going to talk about is the Asvine P50. I do have a Monteverde nib that I have switched up in it. So it is a medium Monteverde nib. Love the nib. I just don't know if I'm feeling the Muddy Crown, which is fine. It is a nice purple, almost black. So it was kind of like the one I was using for black, and I did use it. I just don't know if I love it. So I think that it's good that I only have a sample. And so it's just not it's not necessarily my color right now. It reminds me a lot of Sailor Ink Studio. I believe it's 650. And I do like that color, but I like it more for fall and winter. And so this one was just a little bit too dark. I wasn't feeling it. And so I think if I'm going with that scale, I think I would give the pen a 9. It is a really comfortable pen. I really like it. And I'm really happy with it, especially now that I've switched the nib out. I have a really big love obsession with Monteverde's Yovo nibs. I don't know why, but they're so smooth and they're just great. And they're really cheap on Amazon sometimes. Like I watch them. I watch them all the time, and when they're about $15, I scoop it up. And okay, so it's pen, ink. I'm going to give it a 7. It's not a bad ink. It's just not what I'm feeling. And the flow and the pen and the flow combo, whatever that is, I'm going to say an 8, just because I just don't love it. So really, it's kind of an 8. I don't love it. I love the pen, and I do think that in a couple weeks I will re-ink this one. But for now, I'm going to clean it and put it away and empty it out, because I didn't re-ink it, obviously, for this upcoming week. And I just have so many pens that I am not going to ink this one. Okay, my next one was my Jinhao 10 with Pannonia Aster. I actually do have both my new size medium nib Jinhao 10s inked up. I am really enjoying them. I love this Aster. I am gonna say that I'm gonna give this all 10s. This one is all 10s. I really like this. I don't know how much left I have in it. I need to look and see, because it is one of the annoying fills, and I've used this pretty much every day, so it really lasts. But I haven't refilled it, and I've used it. It says only 2 days, but I actually have used it past that, and I used it randomly. This one I kind of threw in my purse. I put it in my little rickshaw case here with my other Jinhao, which this one isn't on here, but this one has the Colorverse color for one of their islands in there. I do not like to pronounce it because I cannot. I even looked it up, but it does have, so this one does have the start where it gets darker. So you can see it is darker, but it does lighten a little bit. That is one thing I've noticed with my Gin House, is that the first paragraph or so is a little darker than the others, but I don't find that to be a problem, especially when I'm just throwing it in my purse like this. I have just been really enjoying capless pens. Oh my goodness, dog. I don't know if you can hear that on camera, but my dog's outside and he's barking. It's great. Oh, and my girl's barking too. Love them. But yeah, that is the one thing I will say, that they do darken when they're being used. So that is something to keep an eye on. I haven't had as much issues with these two drying out as I have other Gin House, but I also have been using them pretty much every day just for random writing. All right, my next one is my Asvine C80 in glitter blue. I have been really enjoying this pen. I do want to see how much ink I have left. So I've used it a few days and I'm really loving this Colorverse A-Gem. I've had this, man, I've had this sample forever. And I'm kind of like kicking myself for only using it now. So this is one that is been a really nice writer. It is flowing great. The ink is great. It's not the one that I'm reaching for the most often. I will be 100% honest there. This Asvine C80 is a lower priced pen, which I love. So I've been trying to use a few budget pens every day, or not every day, but every day, I guess, but through the week. And I'm really enjoying this one. And I'm going to say this one all around, I'm going to say the pen and ink combo, I'm going to give it pen and ink combo. What did I give this? I gave this one like a 7. This one a 10. I'm going to say this one's about an 8.5. I don't know if any of that means anything. I probably will never do the ratings because I'm just not really great at it. I just see I'm using it. I liked it. I would ink it again. I don't know. But I see other people using the ratings and it looked fun, so I thought I'd try it. I think I've tried it in the past. I don't know. I liked this. Liked, not loved. I'm going to say liked, not love, which is okay. I really liked it. Really. And I'm going to put R-E-L-Y. Really? Oh, really? Sorry. Okay. My last one is my Myers Penco Alpha Petite. This is the petite one with Dominant Industries Le Soleil or Soleil Couchant Étreté, something like that. I cannot get it right, but I really like this color. It looks very similar to Ferris Wheel Press's The Sad Charade, and so I probably won't get a bottle of this ink until I finish my bottle of Sad Charade, but I really like this color. I really like this combination. I will definitely be continuing to use this. This one is not getting inked out. This one is getting carried over. And I think the way that I'm seeing this now is if I'm carrying them over, it's because I really love them. So I have had this pen. This was my second Myers Penco pen. I tried one of their pens out on a whim. And so that was back in, January, I think. I tried a Myers pen. I tried a Mia Petite. And then I saw this one. This was one that they had made, and I said, I have to have that pen. And this was before I had established a relationship with Alan and had designed my first pen. I just sent him a new design. I cannot wait to show you all. I'm so excited. But this one has remained one of my favorite pens in my collection. I absolutely adore it, and it is so beautiful. And I know Heather over at Heather Marie Plans now has one too in the Kraken's Midnight Tide. This blank is just chef's kiss. I love this blank. And it's funny because I think I liked this one so much because it looked very similar, but I definitely, there's difference. There is definitely a difference, obviously, in quality, but there are so many different facets of glitter in this pen, and it's one that I just can't stop looking at. And since I've had it, it's one of my most inked pens that I've had all year. So this one definitely gets inked, and it's not always inked with something that matches. So there's that. If I've kind of come to the conclusion I really love a pen if I'm willing to ink it with something that doesn't match it. That's kind of what I'm starting to realize and recognize, and this is definitely one of those. So I would say, honestly, like, there are very few things that I didn't love about last week. And even this one I didn't dislike, I just didn't use it. And I think it's because I was just loving my soft pinks more and loving purples more. I was reaching for purples. Purples was what I wanted to do. So that being said, let's move on to this week. Okay, so I did want to share how I have this set up. I'm really proud of myself because with the 4 pens that I decided to carry over from last week, I can still fit all of my pens for the week in this little cigar box looking holder that I have, except for my Kakuno. But I also have been using this from Coffee Monsters Co. This was part of the subscription box, and I signed up just for the subscription box, just for this, and I am loving it. I had my qualms about it at first, but I'm using it so much that I really am enjoying it. So this is how I have it set up. I decided instead of where I had last week, I want to go back to that just to show you the difference. The last 2 weeks I had all the colors, and then I had the ink little boxes here. I decided to do them here. So under each ink will be, did I use it Monday? Which days did I use it? That kind of thing. I kind of wanted to I'm just experimenting, and then I want to pick matching supplies. I've been really loving doing the matching supplies with it because I am using different supplies. I'm picking different colors, and it's making it so I have this one little box. And some of these are just extra Tombos that I use these colors quite often, so I just kind of keep them in here. And these are colored pencils that I use quite often, so I'm keeping those in here. And if they work with the week, great. And if they don't, that's fine too, because a lot of them are neutrals. Like my Payne's Gray 60%. My Luminance colored pencil is kind of a neutral. Seaweed's not necessarily a neutral, but it's one I reach for. And then Ultramarine Violet is definitely not a neutral, but I do use this one quite often. So these are just some of the supplies, and we'll go over that when we get to that point. But I really have been enjoying just having that little kit with me so I can just say, yep, this is what I'm packing, and I throw them in. So I have been using this a lot for my purse, or to put in my purse with my pens. And so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So the first one we're gonna start, it's a lot of Banu this week. I just was wanting Banu, I guess. I don't know, I just grabbed pens. So this one is a new ink to me, and this one is one of my newest acquisitions, and this is the Wearing Ghouls A Dream Within a Dream. I had to have this in a pen right away, and this is a fine nib, and it's handling the shimmer absolutely wonderfully. And so I am very happy. This is my Daily Mate. I did get this is my first Daily Mate. I did get this first Daily Mate with a medium nib, but I switch out my nibs, just FYI. And I moved you a little bit because I do tip, or since I'm left-handed, I do move my paper like you saw, but I wanted to make sure that you saw it in the way that works for you. And this is A Dream Within a Dream. And this is a Banu Daily Mate. And it has a fine nib. And this is Creative Thursday. And I thought, because I'm still figuring out how I want to leave notes and everything, I thought that I can put liked, loved, hated, disliked, meh. I thought I could put just like a one word here. Or if I wrote it dry, I could just wrote dry this date. So that was what my thinking was with that. And I decided not to do anything besides just coloring in the letter, so I had more room to write down. But you can kind of see the swatch color there. This is a lovely, lovely purple. I'm so happy that they released it and I got to use it. Now this one is my Hongdian M2, but I did a little updating, and I will say I have one other pen inked, and this was the one that was going to be inked for this because this is an experiment. I'm trying to play with Robert Oster's Dusky Pink to see if I like it. And so this one has Robert Oster's Dusky Pink, which is a dusty, you know, muted pink, and I really liked it. However, I don't know that I want to use this one for the week. You know, I'm going to just use it on and off and figure out if I like it because I do love my Decimos. But this one I swapped out because I realized that the nib would fit. I swapped out the nib in this with a number 5 Jowo Opus 88 nib. And holy smokes, there was nothing wrong with the Hongdian M2's nib, but oh my gosh, is this one of the best writing experiences I've had in a long time. And this is a pink mix I did, and I think I did it 2 weeks ago here on the channel. I know it's on the channel. It is mixing, I was mixing Birmingham Pen Co. and just kind of playing. And this is a Birmingham Pen Co. mix that I'm gonna say it is sterling tea berry. Just putting sterling silver. So it's I think it's like 3 to 4. So three sterling to 4 tea berries. So it's like a 3/4 kind of mix, but I am really, really liking it. And I only made enough to fill probably a pen twice, but I think I'm going to make more. And this is my Hongdian M2. And I'm going to put Jowo medium. And this is the brass. And yeah, I'm really liking that, but I really like that mix, the sterling silver with tea berry. Oh, it is kind of what I imagined. So I'll pull it up. It's kind of what I imagined I wanted Dusky Pink to be. It's very similar, but this is what I wanted Dusky Pink by Robert Oster to be more than what Robert Oster's Dusky Pink is. And I don't use this pen enough, and I love it, and I love having a couple smaller travel pens that I can throw in my purse. And with that nib, I'm so happy. And I'm thinking that maybe I have an extra Esterbrook Jowo size 5 nib from my junior, and I may take that and swap it in there so it's a gold nib because I really am liking it. All right, so this, I think it's just because the tone is a bit more purple, and I really like that. It probably is really similar to Yozakura now that I'm looking at it compared to Robert Oster's Dusky Pink, but I'm loving that tea berry mix there. Okay, my next one is my Platinum Curidas. I pulled this out because Heather Marie Plans got the, the Endless Phantom that she had pre-ordered from a Kickstarter. And I wondered how it compared to a Curidas, because she was saying that a lot of the times she doesn't like the capless because of this clip here where the clip is. I like it because it helps me guide me where my hands should be. But this one, the Curidas, you can remove this. And I think that this is an underrated capless pen. I know that it's really, I think one of the reasons people don't like it is because of this. So this is their inking system. And I have a converter in here from Platinum. But you have to, so it's got this like mechanism where it's so confusing at first, but once you get it, it's nothing. So it's to keep it in, and it's spring loaded, and you pull it out, And that's not the only one you have to pull out. So then here, there's another one where you have to twist it, and it's kind of like Tetris to me. And so you just have to line them up. But once you get it down, it's really not hard, and it doesn't take me any time at all. But it keeps that pen really secure in there. And so I think that's a lot of people's issues, but it does have the cap open so you can see, because that's how the VP works too. And this one's a size medium, and this is a great nib, and it has my Wearingeul Carmilla in it. And I am loving this color. Loving Wearingeul Carmilla. I didn't ink it up last week, and I was kicking myself for it, but I had a plan for last week, so I just kind of went with it. So this is the Platinum Curidas. And I have, I think, how many of these do I have now? I have 2. My first one I got, and I think this one's just teal. My first one I got when Atlas had them on super sale for, I think, $30 or $40, something ridiculous. It was a doorbuster. And I thought, for that price, I'll try it. And this one, I think, that one is an extra fine, which I love for document inks. I've pretty much had Document Urban Sienna in my clear transparent one that I got from Atlas forever, except that I don't have it right now because I'm using other pens and things. But it was, because it's document ink and pigment stains, it is very stained up here in the cap area, very much so in the transparent area. So I got one that was a medium so I could write with it more and enjoy it. So I'm enjoying that one. But that one, the extra fine, is so wonderful. It does have feedback. These are steel nibs, so they're not the normal platinum nib, but they're a platinum steel. And that extra fine is just so much finer than the Preppies. And it has a pencil-like feel. So I love sketching with that one. Just love that one. And I think that the thing about vanishing points that I struggle with, like my Jinhaos even, is that when they're this fat and big, they're heavy. This one, I love this pen. I'm loving the Decimo. I want another one already. But this one is fat, but also the, acrylic or resin. I'm not sure if this is resin or acrylic. I'm not sure, but it's not heavy. So I love that wide base so I can not get as much fatigue, and I am really enjoying this. So that one is this one, and I hope that I can say that I'm enjoying it at the end of the week. Carmilla. Okay, my next pen, I have had this one inked for a while, but I wasn't using it, and I decided to put it in my lineup to make it intentional that I finish up what's in here, because I think even just for this smaller cartridge, yeah, there is still tons of ink in this guy. So much ink. So this is my Kaweco Sport Honey. It originally had a fine nib. The fine nib wasn't working as well as I would like it to with this ink. So I switched it over to a medium, and I'm already excited. This is Robert Oster's Honeybee, and oh my gosh, just when I swatch this ink, it's so pretty. And so yeah, this one I am very excited about using more this week. So bring it on. Yes, but I have had it inked for a while. I don't know how long, but I've had it inked for a while, and I just Robert Oster medium. No, Robert Oster Honeybee. It is this beautiful golden yellow. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks delicious. And this is my Kaweco Sport. This yellow is one of my favorite colors ever. So I love that I'm bringing it in. This palette is feeling very, very retro, very subdued, which I keep going back and forth. Do I like subdued or do I like loud in your face? I like both. And so this week, because it's kind of a busy week, but I want it to be soft and gentle, again, I'm going with kind of a softer rainbow. Yeah. All right, my next one here is my Benu Briolette. Oh, I still love this pen so much. It's so pretty. Look at it. Look at the glitter. All that glitters is gold, except it's not. It's silver. Very much so silver. Okay, so this one is a broad nib, and it has inked up with Wearing Ghoul's Wuthering Heights. And it's been a while since I've used this ink, and I was just itching to use it again. It quickly became a favorite this year. I am loving it, and in a broad nib, it is just, I don't know. It's so pretty, but it is, I think I've pretty much every time I've inked it lately, I have had it in this Briolette. Oh, Wuthering, I was going to put Wuthering Heat. Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heat. That sounds like somebody's erotica version of Wuthering Heights. Whew, sorry. If you are watching this and you are an author, go write that. I would read it. Okay. Anyway, Heathcliff and Cat. No. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm so silly. Sorry, I'm in a silly mood today. You got me yesterday where I was kind of I'm in a sillier mood today, even though I have a migraine. Sillier mood. All right, and this is my Benu Briolette. And this is a broad nib. And this one is Mauve Frost, I think. If I remember correctly, you know, I don't know. I got this one at Gold Spot when they put them on sale, because I'd been looking at these Briolettes for so long and the price was absolutely right. And I love this. I love the new Briolettes too. Oh, just bring them on. Bring all the Benu on. You all know by now. If you don't know by now, I love Benu. So Benu and Myers Pen Co., they have my heart. That's just how it is. But my Decimos are starting to have my heart too. This is my second ever Decimo. And this one is the Kobe Nagasawa Harbor Mint edition. It is a broad nib. Oh, I love it. I am loving it. And I put Robert Oster's Romeo and Juliet in it this week. And what I can tell about this pen and why, like, me loving it and how I think, well, for one, it was very expensive. My most expensive pen to date in my collection, and I will not do that very often, but I'm being a little bit better. This one, I think just the way I was feeling is I was just really feeling sad, and I wanted something to make me happy. And why not a new pen? And I have a Vanishing Point nib unit that is this gold unit like this one. I have this nib unit. Oh man, that's messy. Let me wipe that off. I have a nib unit that's the gold broad, and I really liked it a lot. Oh, I didn't notice that. Okay, can it zoom in? Zoom in. I want to show you this. I'd never noticed that. And maybe somebody else who's got the Nagasawa edition. Oh, come on. Can I zoom in on this? Is it gonna let me? Can you see that? Maybe if I catch the light just right. I didn't see this before. But right here on the nib, there's a little engraved key. How beautiful is that? And it says 2025. Is that what it says? Or is it 0225? Oh yeah, 0225. Oh, so it's got, so I wonder if it's because there's only so many of these in the world made, but look at how pretty that is. Never noticed that. So that is, I didn't notice that when I first got it. So that is a really cute addition to this. But I was loving my broad nib, and I loved this pen when I saw it. But when I went to Van Ness the first time, they were all sold out in the gold, but they still had the silver, and I was kind of meh on the silver. But then Lisa on her Instagram announced that they had one of each size left of the gold that they just stocked, because they buy one extra just to kind of make sure that everything ships right. So when I went, they had the broad left and they had an extra fine. I don't like extra fine. I hated my extra fine decimal. So I went with the broad because I knew I loved it. And so I'm very excited about this pen. And so I've only had it a few weeks, but it definitely, I get really excited about thinking about the next ink after I finish this one. So I did that with my first color that I had in it. What did I have in it the first time? I cannot remember, but I know I had it a couple weeks ago. Romeo and Juliet. And then I put this in towards the end of last week when I finished that ink. And so I'm currently thinking about the next ink I want in it. And this one's not completely matchy-matchy, but I'm okay with that. That's kind of the sign that I love a pen. Like I said earlier, if I'm willing to put an ink in it that's not matchy-matchy, I know I love it. So I am really looking hard at some of my Atlas credit and getting a third decimal because I love them. But I think after that, I am going to chill my roll. And I'm going to put Nagasawa, because this is a Nagasawa vanishing point, and this is a broad, and this is Harbor Mint. Yeah, but I don't think, like, I had been looking at this for a couple months, and so just the fact that it came up was kind of, when I was able to get it, was really kismet. So I was very excited about that. That felt, where I'm doing the artist's way and talking about synchronicity, I felt like that was very, very much so a synchronicity kind of thing where I picked that up. I was really lucky, I think. And that's just like, oh, yes, it's so great. It doesn't always work out that way. And I definitely am trying to be a little bit more picky about pens. I think I've only gotten 2 or 3 this month, which is a lot less than what I was. And so I'm really, and I haven't really been completely pen shopping. I've been really happy. I've actually been trying to downsize, so it's been kind of fun. All right, my next one is this beautiful Benu Tribute that I've had a couple weeks, and I love this one. So this one originally, when I got it, I did my ink video and I put Noveler's Dark Forest in it, which I loved, and I wrote it dry. So this week I decided, since I wrote it dry, I wanted to use it another moment and feature it because it's stunning. I just really, really like this one. This is Darwin. I put Ferris Wheel Press's Curious Woods in it because Curious Woods was one that I considered for the next pen that you will see here in a minute. And I didn't choose that one for that pen. And so I went with it for this pen because I thought, oh, I still want to use it. So Ferris Wheel Press's Curious Woods in my Benu Tribute. And I wanted a couple neutrals with my rainbow over here. And so this is a medium nib. And this one is Darwin. And yes, 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 I love that. I love Curious Wood. It is this weird greenish brown. It's a green toned brown. And then it has shimmer in it that's pink or green, depending on which way the light goes. And I don't know if it's picking up the shimmer, but there's definitely shimmer there, and I really, really like it. So I wanted that. And then my last one is my newest pen. And if you watched my unboxing video of this, you will have seen what color this is. It is a lovely, lovely gray, and I am really enjoying it. And this has a nice, juicy, broad nib. I think it's gotta be halfway done already. No, it's not. Okay. This is Tono and Limbs, and the color is Twilight Sora. And what is really cool about this ink is that it goes down gray, but it has shades and it kind of chroma shades, green and pink, and then has this beautiful bluish shimmer. And I thought it looked perfect with this one. And then somebody in my video mentioned Diamine Moon Dust. Why didn't I think about Diamine Moon Dust for this one? I have a bottle of Diamine Moon Dust. So another one that I didn't even feature in my video, and so I've got plenty of inks for this one. It is working beautifully. I wanted another broad nibbed Banu, so when Banu sent this to me kindly, oh, thank you so much, Banu, I asked for a broad nib this time, which I don't have a lot of. I think the next one I'm going to ask for a stub because I really want to try their stubs. So we'll see how that goes. This is a Banu Astro Gem. I'm loving this pen. I know that some people wanted to know. I am loving it. Loving it. It is really comfortable. I dare I say it is as comfortable, if not just slightly more comfortable than my Euphorias. Time will tell. Time will tell, but I'm really liking my Tribute and my Astro Gem. My Tribute's very comfortable too. So, and keep your eyes peeled. There might be a new pen in the lineup of my Banus. So, there are my currently inked colors. I have 8 colors, which is less than last week. Last week I had 9, so I still do have, you know, almost as much, but I'm feeling a little bit less overwhelmed with this because I had 3 pinks last week, where I only have 1 pink, and I have a red, and I have kind of a purple, and I only have 1 of each. So if I want purple, I have 1 choice, except for this one. I do have this one as well, and that's kind of the same with pink because I do have this one that I am carrying over. So it's a little bit, but this one's a lot softer of a pink, and that one's more of a true pink. So I feel really good about this lineup, and I just think it looks pretty. It looks great with my theme that I went with. I think it's just, yeah, it's how I'm feeling right now. So I want to look at my matching supplies, and I love doing this. I love matching my supplies. So what I like to do, I already have this set up so I can play around. And sometimes I match them 100%, and sometimes I will go a little bit different. Now I know from this one and from knowing what I have in greens, I'm really good at figuring that out. This one is really close to 312, which is holly green. I find that I have holly, these are Tombos, by the way. I find that I have pretty much holly green every single time. This one looks very close to mauve, which is one that I have almost every single time because it's one of my favorites. Now, Carmilla is going to be kind of one of those weird ones because I feel like there's not really a muted red tone, so I may have to go a little bit more, which is great, which is fine, a little bit more saturated, or I could go a little bit more orange, which is 905. I think I might go 905 this week. We'll see how that looks. 905 or 847. So I kind of do this for every color. This one I did, so there's gold ochre and there's light orange. I haven't used light orange in a while, or yellow gold. I love yellow gold. I think I'm going to do 025 or 026. The nice thing about 026 is I do have this, I have one that's pretty much always in my collection. Now this one, I think it could be a brown, but I think I'm going to go with 027, which is dark ochre, because I like it. I like it. So I just do that. Gray, which gray are you? You are closest to, would you be N79? No. What do I want? I think maybe N65 or N52, N55, N55. Let's do N55 for that one. This one, I think I'll just do 603. There's not a lot of options for purples right here. I either do 603 or 620. You know, actually, let's do 620. I could go orchid because there is that pink undertone, but I do like to have a little bit of a kind of difference. Now, let's see here. Romeo and Juliet is such a fun color. I just love it. It has that really, if you look here, in the depths of it, it has pink shading, which is so pretty. So I'm thinking it's closest to turquoise, which is 443, aqua blue, or process blue. Now, these bright blues I never end up using, so I think I'm gonna go with aqua, which is 401. So I'm gonna make sure that I can see that's not a 7 and it's a 4. Now this one is a dusky pink, so I'm just gonna exit because it's really close to 817. So I think there I've got those. So then what I do is I'm gonna pull those from my supplies, and then I like to take an extra piece and I like to swatch them because then I can match. I rather would match my other supplies to my Tombos than to my pens. So I'll be back. So I'm looking at this 026 versus 025, and then up here with 027, I definitely almost think that this one might not be what I want. We'll see, because I think 026 works the best with these three, but we'll see here. Love this color. This is one of my favorites, 817. Okay. Yeah, I think 905 is a nice bright for that. And then this is 401. Which is quite soft. Okay. So off camera, I'm going to go and redo a couple of these, and then I will be back. Okay, so I actually ended up only going with the 6 colors here. And this, I decided to work harder, or work smarter, not harder, and decided that I'm gonna just, when I'm done, I'm gonna just glue this in with the Midori little note paper. So yeah, I'm gonna do my test here so then I go, from there, I go to pick my colored pencils. Now, sometimes I use my luminance pencils. Like, I think, looking at my kit, I think the best color I have for this gray is already my Payne's Gray. My Payne's Gray 60, which I use quite frequently. So that one I think I'm going to keep. And let's see here. I don't think seaweed is, no, seaweed's not right. I think I'm gonna put that one away. And I think green or olive earth is also not a great match. So those two I'm gonna put away in my big case over here. And I think if I have a jade green, and if I can find that, I think that's gonna be the best for this. I really want Prismacolor's Celadon green, but it's one that I have yet to find. And I thought I was going to find it in a pack I bought, and I didn't end up buying it. So I just need to find a place online that sells the Celadon green, because it's one that I think I'm lacking in both Prismacolor and Luminance and Holbein, because I have those. And I think I have a couple Polychromos. Maybe Polychromos does like a Celadon or like a holly looking green. I need to look. I always forget about my Luminance Cobalt Green too. I know from using 312, I never can find a complete good match. So I think for this, I am going to use both of these. And then I think, do I have one? Yes, I do. This one is Yellow Ochre, and I think it looks great with 026. I like to have my colored pencils. Sometimes I like to do one, or like if you see here, I did two, because it's okay to have more than one, since, oh, I don't need that Sakura Mori color. It's okay to have more than one, because I think that sometimes I like to color with colored pencils more than I like to do other things. So a lot of times I have this here. This is a super color, so this is a watercolor pencil that I will do my lines with, so then it kind of disappears when I go over it. So I'll do that one for this. And then for the mauve, what color? I know I had one. Is it this one? I'm finding I'm using a lot of the same colors. Yes, this one is Luminance Violet Pink. It's close. It's not perfect, but I do like it a lot. And I love my Luminance pencils. So any excuse to use my Luminance pencils more than using my Prismacolors, I'm definitely going to. I've had my Prismacolors since college, and I got my Luminance a couple years ago for a Christmas present, and I've just been adding to them as I go because I love them so much. And I always like to go, if I'm using a light blue, I like to go light cobalt blue. And I know it's different than the Romeo and Juliet, but again, I don't have to be perfect, and I can get, this one is light aqua, and I'll get that to be kind of a different tone here. And then, so I think I'm not doing this. I should X that out. Let's X that out. So do I have one here. Am I missing? Oh, missing that. Missing that. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to think of the color, because I don't use this color very often. Would that be kind of like a, ooh, this one, I just saw this one. This one would have been good for Sunset Yellow. I almost wonder if I should, I think I'm gonna throw that one in if I have room in my tote, or even yellow, or orange yellow, yellow orange. Nope, that's too yellow. Yeah. In college, for a couple of my classes, we were required to have Prismacolor, which makes sense because they're so good. And at least at that time, they were kind of the standard good quality compared to now, where you have Luminance. And I'm sure Luminance were out then, but they weren't, I don't think they were as highly accessible to college students. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. I just know that my college required Prismacolor, and that was, I felt like it was the color to get. It was the color, like colored pencil that everybody had. They're not my favorite, but I have such a collection of them that I like to use them up. And sometimes their creaminess I do like. So this one is Poppy Red, and so I have that. And so then I've got all of those. And what I will do then is see, do they fit? First and foremost, it's really important that they all fit in here, because if they don't fit in here, then I have to make cuts. And I keep these colors in all the time. These 5 colors, including actually 6, because this one's usually in there. So I keep all of these in here. So then I have to make sure that this stuff fits. And usually if I pick 7 or 8 colors, they fit. Now I can fit 027 in here, so I may, but I may not, because I want to have enough room for my Neo colors as well. So then, do they all fit? If they all fit, then I'm going to keep them. And they do. So awesome. That makes me really excited. Really excited. Okay. So then, what I like to do is I like to just swatch them right here. And if I have two, I swatch the two. If I just have the one, I swatch the one. Or if I have three, I swatch the three. Just because I know then I have, okay, this is what I have for colored pencils to work this week. And so it's just kind of fun to, this is new for me. This kind of thing is new for me to do this because I've been doing this as like an art kit. Then these are the colors that I use throughout the week in my artwork and in my sketchbook. So it's kind of making giving myself limited quantities of things so I can play around with color and come up with color schemes and that kind of stuff too, which has been really challenging and fun for me. And I know that this one, I went with this one too. So, because you can kind of mix them. I think if you mix them, they would be really great. So there's those. And then my last one that I use, because I've got marker. My watercolor, I always have my watercolor palette. So I can always get more colors. But then my watercolor, or not my watercolor, my Neocolors is my last one that I like to do. And so I kind of, with Neocolors, they don't have as many colors as the other supplies, and I don't have all of the Neocolors, even though it kind of looks like I have quite a few. It's because they're broken and messy. But this one, which is Periwinkle, I really love using my Neocolors quite a bit. They're just such a fun thing to use. I just always have a hard time finding matches. This one is their mauve, but look at how different their mauve is to this mauve. This is mauve in Tombow. This is violet rose. This is their mauve. And then their violet purple. Maybe I'll grab their violet purple too, but I usually have these. Yeah, they're violet purple. It works. And then this one is vermilion. I think that might be good here. And I think I have part of a that's scarlet. Do I have cadmium? This one might be a good one too. The cadmium light. Yeah, well, I have both those. And then this one is definitely golden ochre, which is one of my favorites as I sing. Okay, so now this is the one I always have a hard time with, because like I've mentioned, 312. So I either go trying to like mix and match. So this one is Veronese green, this one is jade green, and this one is chromium oxide, depending on what I'm feeling. And I am not feeling doing landscapes, or even if I did, I could use this one, but I really like this jade. And it is a little bit different than those other ones that I have. So that will be kind of fun to have. And then this, I already have the light cobalt, but I always have this color with me. So I will just put it back in there. I took it out just because I wanted to start over. This one is beige, and I just always have beige as my gray. I do have regular gray. Maybe gray would be great there. Yeah, I think I'll do that one too. Because I've been using my Neocolors a lot lately. And then I could do, there is this lovely one called turquoise blue that I could do here too. And I think I'm going to. So because I have 2 colored pencils, then I can have 2 Neocolors. And because I know that I don't have as many colored pencils this week, I can have these, and they will be great. And this is my art kit that I will take with me. I am, as a person who has severe anxiety and, my neurodivergent neuroses, I call them my neuroses because I feel like I'm just kind of neurotic. And that's okay. Like, I'm okay with it. I like to take this with me. Like, that, why I'm doing this is because what I have found is that I like to have, even if I don't ever use my art supplies and my notebooks when I go someplace, I have to have them with me. Like, I have to have them with me. And so what I was finding is that I was driving my whole family, even my husband, my kids, nuts, because it would take me so long to pick things when we were going somewhere and then I would hyperfixate on things that I was packing and things that I was doing, and I ended up with 3 bags. This way, it all, with the traveler's notebook, it all fits into 1 bag, which is nice. Or at the most, I have like 1 extra little tote, and that has been working really well. So that's why I'm doing this. A lot of these things are to try to make my life a little bit more streamlined, my life a little bit more intentional, because I do so much better when things are intentional. All right, back to my currently inked notebook. I am going to take this. This is a Tombow permanent adhesive. I swap between what I'm doing, but I've been liking this thing lately. Just like the noise of it, and I like how not messy it is compared to any kind of glue that I've used. It works really well when it's just straight lines. And so I like to do that, and then I throw a couple in the middle to make sure it really sticks. And then I just will stick that right here. And then I can label this up here with my Kakuno. This is my Tombows. This is my colored pencil. And my lovely Canadians. You call these pencil crayons, and I started calling them pencil crayons for a while because of my dear art mentor and semi-friend, online friend, I should call her, Kate. She is Poopy Cat online. I love her so much, but she calls them pencil crayons, and it sounds so cute. But people were like, what's a pencil crayon? Well, that's because you're a plebeian who lives in the United States and you don't understand how cute it sounds to say pencil crayon rather than colored pencil. Okay, that is my... So there we go. That was my rant. And that is my currently inked for the week of August 18th through the 24th. I am 3 weeks in, and I am loving the fact that I am trying out my pens. I'm doing this once a week to be intentional. I'm thinking about the colors. I don't know that I'm going to do this for September. We'll see, but maybe I'll do it for September, and then I might go back to really trying to be intentional about using 8 pens for a whole month. I don't think I can do it, but maybe I can. Maybe I'll find what pens I really love, but I like to be able to play with my pens, and I really want to show you that Twilight Sora. I don't know if it's gonna pick it up, but it's so pretty. They're both so pretty. It just has this like lovely shimmer. It really does look like Twilight, and I saw that one. I saw that one on my Dandelion Diaries last week, or last week or the week before. I don't know. I saw it and I had to have it, and I am loving it. So there's that. I don't know if I'll color these parts here. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But that is that. And then I will go through and fill out all of this beautiful stuff and go with it. And I will be back for sure next week with another one of these currently inked and ink reviews. And wouldn't it be fun if I took the ones that I really loved for the month? I actually think that might be fun. Taking the ones that I really loved from each week of the month and then doing 8 of those. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. If you have any suggestions on this to streamline, I don't know. This is working for me right now. Would a system like this work for you? I don't know. Maybe it would. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I will talk to you in the next video. If you have any questions, let me know too. I'm trying to get through the old questions from other videos and whatnot. I have been trying to put out as much content now so that when I go back to work full-time eventually, which is in the next few weeks, I will have a lot of content for your viewing pleasure. So, because I don't know how often, once I'm teaching, I'll be able to film. Probably once or twice a week at the most. So this summer has been a lot of fun for me to pump out videos because, well, I've been at home. So yeah, I will see you in the next one, and have a wonderful day, and play with your pens or something like that. Keep it real. I don't know. People have these really cool outros, and I want to be as cool as them. Like, there's people who are like, drink water, do this, and I'm just like, leave me an emoji, because yeah, okay, that was not a really great outro, but that's where I'm at right now. So have a wonderful, and I will see you, and have a great day, wonderful night, wonderful everything, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.